Sometimes I'd have an okay-ish month, but average was 5K, if that. Now, currently 20K a month, and that's pretty consistent now. I will take on anyone. I remember I took on a kid for like $600, and he said he'd pay me the rest later. And it's like he never paid when it came time to, you know? I was like left with 10 million view videos that I made zero fucking money from. It was a Q&A sequence. So it was like first DM that I got from that was a 6K pay in full. Now my mind is like, how can I make this even easier? Because the two things I value, making the money, but then two, my time.
The bank account was frozen, right? What was it that we implemented or that you implemented? I just gave you the tools that got you from 5 to 20K.
I mean, so when I came to you, first thing was that my business was just like all over the place. I had some random setters here and there. I didn't actually have a clear funnel. I didn't have some clear direction on how I was going to convert those top of funnel views into like actually, you know, bottom of funnel paying customers. So I kind of knew some general things, like I had some automation set up. I was doing some Q&As here and there. I was doing some like call to action on the story, but none of it was structured. I didn't actually know where the money was going to come from, and I didn't actually know how all the different pieces and parts of the funnel work together. So first thing we did was that you laid out for me why I wasn't making any money, and you showed me all the bridges that we actually needed to take action on in order to turn those views and translate into obviously paying customers. So it was like first funneling them from the Instagram to the YouTube, or the Instagram to the low ticket to the high ticket, or even straight to the high ticket. Like we implemented all those systems. So it's like no view ideally would go unmet with some sort of funneling push. And then we took action like on all those bridges. Obviously, like we started out with, I think, some really basic stuff, is just like figuring out my offer, you know, what would be most scalable.
Literally.
Like how it was like most basic stuff, and it was like you helping me with obviously the messaging and marketing of it. Like how can we actually address all their pain points, right? We did all that market research, did those like lead magnets to just get the info of all the clients, find out, or all the followers, find out like who we're actually selling to. And that was really good, obviously, because that's something that I never sat down and thought about. Like I've been running the page more or less for 10 months at this point. So it's like I knew my audience. I knew roughly who I was selling to. I knew who like my past customers were, but I didn't actually have the objective numbers on it. So all my decisions were like kind of intuitive, emotional based versus like actually, okay, well, I've got 15% entrepreneurs in my audience. Why am I trying to sell to like the average person with no money, you know?
Fact. I actually I even think it's more, bro. Like even from a data, probably more than 50%, bro. Yeah, genuinely, I think what was so crazy for you was one, we offered to the data campaign. It's like, I think, how was the market research? What did we find out of the market research? I think the craziest thing was that you had so many entrepreneurs in your audience, right?
Yeah, that was the number one thing. And then also we found out just the pain points. For the entrepreneurs, I think the highest correlation we saw was that they were struggling or wanting to improve their energy, focus, mental clarity, that whole side of things. We found out that it's like the more unemployed under 18s wanted like height maximization, improve their skin, kind of like the more superficial looks maxing pain points. Those were the biggest findings.
Fact. I think what was so crazy about your case was it only needed like a bit of execution. I think your first Instagram story got you like your first paid in full client. Break it down. What was the sequencing?
It was just a Q&A. It was a Q&A sequence. So it was like, I think more or less 6 stories, then a CTA in the last one. Like it was a bit of a planted question, like, yo bro, how do I work with you one-on-one? And I was obviously just like keeping in mind all the things you taught me and emphasized to me in how to actually structure those Q&As. So from things like reaffirming who I am to my viewers in case they don't know me, explaining it to them like they're a toddler, like these kind of pointers, and then like actually introducing introducing the CTA in the right way. And yeah, I think like first DM that I got from that was a 6K pay in full, which was like obviously like an unbelievable feeling that's because like that's the most I charged, you know. It was pretty nice.
Could I just have 30 seconds of your day? Mason's results were obviously insane, but he's actually only one of many members at Audiencia who scaled to 20, 50, if not even 100K a month and above within a few months' time. If that sounds of any interest to you, there's a link down in the description to book a call with me personally. Not with a sales rep, because if you made it past this point watching a Zoom recording, you probably actually mean it and you're not gonna waste my time. The link is down below. I am pretty good at what I do. And that's 30 seconds. Thank you for your time.
That's true. What was your offer before? How much did you charge?
For anywhere from like 1K to most I charged would have been 5K. So it's
That's
like
so
I was
crazy,
bro, I just wasn't like concrete in what my offer was. I wasn't discerning in who I was turning away, who I was taking on. It's like also because I was traveling for like basically the whole time before I decided to work with you. I just wanted to get like I'd take any money that came in the door. So I wasn't even like respecting or valuing my time, which was like another big thing. Like now, we've had plenty of conversations where I've said to you, like, bro, I don't want any more one-on-one clients. I only want to charge fuck tons more and take up on like a really select few. So it's like, it's big. I'd say it's a big perspective shift from how I was before, where it's like, I will take on anyone. Like I'd take on kids. I remember I took on a kid for like $600 and he said he'd pay me the rest later. And it's like, he never paid when it came time to, you know? So
I don't even know that fucking story.
No, bro, I mean, I've had like genuinely before I started being selective with who I was working with, I've had a handful, maybe 4 or 5 guys who still owe me money, but I'm just like not bothered to collect it because I know like what kind of customer they are. They like could barely afford it in the first place. I was charging a low fee, but it's just like they weren't even my ICP, you know?
Yeah. How did you always told me, I think it was right from the get-go when we started working and we talked about how you wanted to build your business and you were like, bro, I don't want to be like one of my other cases was making 100K a month and like grind your life away every single day, but you just want to make sure that you just have a couple clients and basically do the 20% that gets 80% of the results, like as much as money as possible. How did you, because I know that there's a lot of people who struggle with that part as well. It's like, how did you make sure, or what is it you're building towards currently that will enable you to do that, or that overall just enables you to work less and make the most amount of money that you can?
Yeah, so I think the big thing I've always known is that like you need to focus on where your leverage is. It's not like I was completely inept business-wise, like it's not like I didn't know anything, but I just didn't know where the biggest leaks were. So you obviously came in, we built out all the systems so it flows a lot more smoothly, like kind of built out the framework of the business. But then it's like in implementing that and seeing how much easier it became, now my mind is like constantly thinking, now how can I make this even easier? Because the 2 things I value in the business I'm doing is 1, obviously making the money, but then 2, my time. Never want to be trading my time, never want to be building and working towards something that is like perpetually trading my time. So, I mean, obviously one of the reasons why I chose to go with you and like start up working with you instead of like, you know, the 50 other guys in my DMs or like any of the webinar guys or like anyone who's, you know, any person in info will get messages from, is that you kind of help solve the problems from that perspective of like utilizing the leverage in the business versus just like doing more action. It's like what I saw in starting up with you is that this is how I get a 10x as opposed to, you know, someone who's just going to tell me to do more of the same just to get a 2x, you know?
True. Appreciate you, bro. I love to hear stories like that. What's the vision and how do you think you can get there from here on? Because we talked about what to do next.
I think the biggest thing, which is just a part of my character, even though, like I said like a minute ago, that, you know, I was working hard to a degree to get some clients in, I'm still like very limited in how much effort I truly will put into something. In school, I didn't study, would refuse to. I'd walk out of school and like just go to the park. Like I would refuse to do any hard work when I thought there was a better way, you know? So probably the reason I'd say why we didn't do beyond 20K is just because I'm like the framework we've implemented I think is excellent, but I'm thinking on like how can we 10x instead of just like doing more of the same. So it's like I want to like get Tolu times 2 or Tolu squared, you know what I mean? Like bro, yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's, bro, surely you studied maths at school. Like, you know, instead of timesing it by 2, I want to square.
You want it squared.
I want to square the number. So it's like,
fair enough.
Like, that's the ideal, you know. So like I can be at the same level, reserve my energy, and then I'm just focusing on the highest leverage task while still making the biggest impact, still generating the most revenue. Because it's like, I think it's insanely stupid to think you need to limit yourself to earning your income based off your time. I think this whole like personal brand info business space is about is that you can make money off being who you are. And it's like, I want to set up my business, which is what we've done and what we're doing, in the most optimal way. So it's like, I'm purely existing as me, doing what I love to do, sharing the ideas I love to share and what I know about and how I can help people. And I'm compensated in the like most generous way for that. And that's like, that's the ideal that I'm always trying to get towards.
How do you want to get there?
I mean, just like, it's just refinement, iteration, testing, seeing what works. Obviously, like I've done a lot of testing in the past. I've now worked with you. I know what works from what we've implemented together, and then it's just like the framing. So, like for example, I thought I'd be happy taking on 10 one-on-one clients a month and just being a one-on-one coach. But then, in doing that, I've realized that I don't actually want to trade my time that greatly in that sense. How can we better leverage it? For one, can charge more. 2, grow the low ticket. Like all these kind of things.
How much do you want to charge?
Bro, I genuinely think their customers would pay like hundreds of thousands for what I could help them with.
I think so too.
Very, very early in my health career, for sure. But I believe like I kind of have a lot of the attributes. Obviously, the knowledge, by far, the knowledge is the most valuable thing. But a lot of the attributes and the drive and the vision, where that ideal of serving the top echelon of customers is possible. Should I want to,
Honestly, first, like, yeah, you're giving props to, like, yeah, I've taught you all these systems that you've implemented them and this strategy scale to 20K a month. But if there's like one thing I can say, it's probably like, bro, your offer is genuinely good. And I think that was a really good leverage. It's like your offer is genuinely good. Like it wasn't like we needed to switch on these crazy marketing techniques or do this funnel or that funnel or like kind of lure them into buying the thing. It was literally as simple as, I have these great results. I've literally helped somebody reverse his hair loss within 40 days.
Yeah, for sure.
Which just makes things so much easier. And I think you're easily going to scale to 100K a month. I know you will later on down the line. You have the tools to do it. We're building our modules currently as well. I might send them over to you as well, just as like a bonus.
I appreciate it.
I think overall, bro, the biggest thing is like, and that's with so many people who join, they have amazing offers, but they just don't know how to market them. And that's it. And you just revert to, like, bro, you're literally helping my mom now. Yeah. Like, you're literally helping my mom reverse her hair loss now, which is great.
Yeah, bro, I'm keen to hear how that goes. You need to keep me up to date on that.
Bro, you're going to get the craziest case study in the world, bro. Why did you join? Like, what was... Yeah. What was it? Case studies? Was it Oscar's case study? Was it us meeting in Bali, bro? Was it the conversation?
Oh, bro, I think this is honestly one of the best stories I have in info, like, or just in the business space. It was like also a big lesson. Obviously, I was in Bali. I saw we were in a group chat together, and I think I was working with someone else at the time, trying to scale my offer and grow my offer. And I recognized your name, that you were the guy who worked with Oscar. Obviously, Oscar had told me in the past that he'd worked with you or I'd heard your name before. I forget. but he kind of gate-kept you a little bit. So like I'd never actually gone to speak the great Tol and I. Anyway, saw we were in this group chat together. Then I hit you up. I think I asked you some questions. You just gave me some free value. I was like, damn, this guy knows his stuff. Why am I working with the current guy I'm working with when there's someone over here who actually like has already done what I'm trying to achieve, more or less? And then we met up in Bali. I think we had some lunch. I had some like fruit. You had whatever, like poke bowl or something. I forget. But yeah, you just gave me a ton of value in that meeting. It's like you weren't even trying to pitch me on anything. You just answered all my questions. You told me how to grow and scale my offer, what I was trying to achieve. And by the end of it, I was like, I think I was still indecisive. Like I was still thinking, oh, maybe I'll just stick working with the current guy I'm with.
I pitched you at the end of our conversation.
Okay. No, but it was like a very subtle pitch. I swear you were like, so bro, what's your decision? Like it was very, very subtle. And I was like, oh, no, I wasn't coming to get a decision. I was just trying to get free info out of you. So we parted ways. And then I decided, or I think my business partner and I realized that we weren't going to work things well together because we were both like equally not wanting to do the hard yards in like developing the business. So then I was back on my own and I was like shopping around a little bit, you know, speaking to some webinar guys, some like ad gurus, like people here and there in the info space, like little kind of experts with everything. Another thing, I spoke to you again. I don't remember if I reached out. I don't remember what I was doing. I think I reached out to you, let you know that I was potentially interested in working together, and then we hopped on a call. I cut the call early. I got off after like 20 minutes because I had somewhere to go, and then you sent me like a 30-minute long Miro board breakdown or something like that. It was like a Google Doc breakdown, something crazy. I watched through it like 3 times, and at the time, because I don't know, one other thing is I have too many things going at once. I decided that I was also going to start working back in crypto and work on some crypto projects. So I was like, told her, yeah, I'll let you know, I'll get back to you right now and focus on some crypto stuff. I don't want to have too much on my plate. But the whole time while I was like working on this crypto stuff, I was hopping on calls with some big people in crypto. We were trying to like build out the whole plan and the roadmap for this project. I was thinking, I do not fucking want to go near this. I don't want to do this. It's like a disingenuous sort of thing as crypto is. I'd rather actually like continue my personal brand and grow it and scale it, do what I'm passionate about. And that whole time, even while I was like still kind of sussing out the crypto stuff, I was literally thinking, I cannot wait to have this done and just like hit Tolan up, hop on a call and pay him in full. Like I think it was literally all the money I had in my bank account as well. I had no more. No, I had even less because I think you took $200 off because for some reason it wouldn't go through. So I
remember
less.
Your bank account was frozen, right? I think.
Yeah. They didn't want to accept the transfer, but it's like literally everything I had. And the reason why I say it's a crazy story and a crazy kind of lesson or realization for me is that I've never been like I had such a high trust with a purchase, you know, and that is like it was the most expensive purchase of my life, like up until that point. And I didn't.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Bro, I'd never wanted to give away my money so quickly or like with such conviction, you know, because I knew that this is the guy I gotta work with. This is the guy who's going to move my business in the right direction.
Was it because of the case with Oscar or our conversation or the loom?
Bro, it was everything. I think like it was the case with Oscar. It was just like also all the value you gave me, the loom, like all of it kind of really well demonstrated your competence as a marketer / whatever you want to call it in my business, which I don't know, in the info space, I told you this as well, I don't think many people have like a high level of competence. There's a lot of kids who just like start up some page, put a bio in their Instagram, say they're a growth operator, mass DM people, and they don't know shit. They've never worked with anyone, they've never scaled anyone, and they're genuinely like not even smart people, like they wouldn't even do well in school. So I've been, at least I think I'm a good judge of character and like who actually knows something versus who's just like playing the part. And that was one of the big reasons why I was like, yeah, this is someone who I can actually trust because he can actually understand the nuances of my offer, of my niche. And he's someone who isn't simply just going to do like a copy and paste job, as a lot of people do, based off like what their mentor taught them, what they learned from like some pirated Iman Ghazi course. Like I knew that you would like actually come in and like make some more calculated recommendations.
Bro, I think I didn't know that was your only money.
Yeah, bro, you took all. No, I mean, I live at home. It's like whatever.
Fair enough, bro. But I never actually knew that. That's crazy.
Most money I've ever spent. But I was very happy to.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I didn't know it was so. But you had no money at all. Good to know, bro. Crazy shit.
Very little after the fact.
Sorry?
I definitely had very little, at least. But you can put like the title for this YouTube video. I spent my last dollar. Like I spent all my money. And then it's like 5K to 20K a month.
I create like an AI version of you that's saying like I couldn't pay rent. I was almost about to go homeless. I have 3 children.
Yeah. Holding an empty wallet.
Yeah, bro. How did you celebrate? What did you celebrate when it's like? What did you do with the money? I saw you invested some stuff into like cooler projects, like your Raw Royal Jelly. You went traveling a bit to Bali.
Bro, just starting up the e-com stuff. I've been buying a fuck ton of oysters. Like, biggest quote also that I like is, no such thing as a spending problem, just an income problem. So it's like, in a few days I'm going to Sydney for 3 weeks, which for some reason Bondi to stay in like a decent apartment, fucking expensive. So I spent like just money on travel, money on food. But it's like, that's how I want to be living my life, because ultimately I want to be making way more money than what I'm currently doing. So it's like, it keeps me on edge of it,
Fuck yeah. How much money do you want to make? What's the vision? Like, let's say end of 2026.
I mean, end of 2026, I think I could be on track or close to retirement, like in terms of building an e-com brand. Like that's something with, real value that you could sell fairly soon. But I mean, from the info, 100K a month, Australian, I don't know, US, like that'd be 150K a month. Like that would be, I think it's achievable.
And do you want to use info to fund the e-commerce business?
I mean, it's already. I think the e-commerce business will be fine as it is. Like, I can already fund it comfortably off the info.
Is it the Raw Royal Jelly?
Yeah, the Raw Royal Jelly. That's just like in the works. I think that will be like, honestly, a business that I could sell in a year for like 7 figures. Like that's something that's insanely scalable. Especially like the kind of position I have on social media. And then, I mean, scale the info, make it obviously like as little as my time, more of just me being me and giving value and helping people. But like end goal is like be set, not actually having to work for money, not having to worry about money, know that I could support my family, know that I could support my future family, not needing to pursue money, like not needing to make certain connections or like make certain posts or like do anything to get a certain outcome just because I'm like comfortable where I'm at, Yeah. And then it's like, it's pure passion, no like moving away from discomfort.
Fact. Great, bro.
But amazing. I mean, easier said than done, but I think...
I think you'll make it, bro, because as I said, if there's one thing... I think the highest ROI activity in 2026 is getting results, because there's so much bullshit out there. You know best, bro. Your fucking health coach competitors, they don't know shit. My info competitors don't know shit. Fitness coaches, looks maxing coaches, bro, they all don't know shit. And if you have an offer that genuinely works, you now know how to market it, and you're probably going to learn way more with me or without me in 2026. If you have a good offer, you're going to scale, because they just stand out so much. Look at the brands that are falling apart right now. With all due respect, Andrew Tate is literally being torn apart.
Yeah.
Samuel Millsap was torn apart. I don't know how many brands will be torn apart. Even Iman Like, I like Aman. He's had a lot of success. I bought his program. I had a lot of success with it as well. But there's some stuff that people weren't happy about, and it kind of killed his reputation. And even his brand is kind of shrinking a lot right now. So it's like, if you have a good offer, I genuinely think you're gonna grow. I don't know raw royal jelly, bro. I've never tried it, but if that's a proper product as well,
that's just ads. It's impossible not to scale that.
I think so too. Is it? How are you going to scale it? Attach it to your low ticket?
I attach it to my personal brand, low ticket. Like, imagine my ecosystem is just low ticket, physical product, high ticket, and it's like I can offer a discount on the low ticket, have like recurring subscriptions for the product, but then it's also like I can, now fortunate enough through online presence, just like in real life connections as well, I can just partner with people, which is what I'm planning to do, partnering with people to scale the royal jelly as quickly as possible, make it a brand that's not even a personal brand, make it separate. And I just like gave it the kickstart.
Dope. All right.
Yeah.
What I always like to do at the end of these interviews is always do the same thing. Forget that we're on a client interview. Forget that potential clients would watch this. Forget that you're trying to promote anything whatsoever. The only goal that you have right now for the next few minutes is take somebody who's a coach making 5K a month and give him advice on what he is supposed to do next to now scale to 20K a month. Just bang it out. Don't think about whatever.
Sure. So
how can you help somebody now?
First thing I would say, I'd say there's two main things to focus on. One is finding your angle with content, figuring out what your top of funnel is. So like, what I recommend to people is going through all of the reels competitors have posted, finding like the outliers in terms of views, and then for 30 days straight, each day, just copying one of those reels, adding like your own personal spin on it until you actually find your unique style that hits, and then keep doing that until you have like 5 or so reel styles that consistently get like 100K plus views, depending what your niche is, depending if top of funnel is possible like that, and just continue to push that. Then you're getting like the views in the system. The next thing I'd say is focus on just helping people in the DMs, giving free value in health coaching, at least. That's what I recommend. And then you're already getting like testimonial screenshots, you're getting a bit of proof of concept, you're building relationships, and later down the line you can say to those people, or you can suggest to them, or even like a lot of these people that I just had conversations with in the early days, they became one-on-one clients because I gave them so much value early on. They trusted me a lot. They paid me like 3K, 5K, whatever. That's obviously that's what exact same thing that happened with me and Tolu. So I'd say those are two things to focus on right away. And then you get a bit of a sense of like who your audience is, what kind of people are trying to get solutions for what you're working with. And once you have that, or a decent amount of that, you can do actual follower research. So to research, find out who actually is in your demographics of followers, find out the ages, the pain points, the needs, everything. Then from there, you can really decide on what offer you're going to build out and structure. And that's then probably what you commit a bit of time to, maybe even like you just keep the content going a little, but focus on building that. Probably the big thing that I learned from working with you, Tolu, is that you always want to go on bridges. You always want to focus on like one task at once compared to trying to juggle everything at once, because when you're juggling everything, nothing happens. So be really focused, plan things out super, super carefully, build out your offer, obviously, and then find out how you're going to like fill in the gaps. How are you going to push your organic top of funnel all the way into actually getting in your offer? So it's going to be through the stories, it's going to be through the YouTube systems, it's going to be through like nurturing content in the reels, having an appointment setter, these kind of things. Fill that in, and then what I'd say as well, map all of your whole funnel out, your whole system. What I did is I color-coded everything that I need to do personally as the personal brand face, like coaching clients, recording the reels, recording the YouTube videos, and then I also color-coded which of all the tasks in my business can be delegated to an appointment setter, to a video editor, to a script writer, like all these things. So I built all of that out, and I think like that's another big thing, because it saves you from just doing that same thing of juggling everything, because then obviously you get in. That's, I'd say, all my advice for it.
No, I think that's it. I wanted to add something, but I think that's it. Yeah, above the bridges, just quick explanation above the bridges is like we have this, we had this structure which was one bridge at a time, which is that I think the biggest problem whenever I also look at other info businesses is like they have so many bridges at a time. It's like, okay, I want to improve my offer. Also want to improve my high ticket. Also want to improve my low ticket. I also want to improve my positioning. I also want to improve my content on Instagram, and I also want to do the YouTube content. Then I also launch ads, and then within the ads, I actually need a new DM script. It's like, okay, you have like, let's say that every bridge can make you money. It's like your offer can make you more money. Your DM script can make you more money. Your ads can make you more money. Your low ticket can make you more money. Then everyone basically just stops here. So they have like half-built bridges on every single fucking bridge. And none of these bridges are actually fully built to get money over the line. So they just burn out. Because like you don't really have money to put into it where you could actually invest money into short-form content and long-form content, because you just have so many half-built bridges. I think just building one bridge at a time, although it's maybe not as fast, is way easier and will still make you more money, because you do less, but you do it at such a high quality that you don't ever need to look at the bridge ever again. Like offer, high ticket, low ticket, etc., etc. You can literally move on, take the money from that, put it into the next one, and feed your content. Because I think the biggest thing is like so many entrepreneurs, when they get into info, don't know how to be an entrepreneur in a sense, and that's something that you understood very early, by the way, props to you, is that you cannot sit there and try to do everything on your own. But you take the money that you make from the lowest hanging fruit. In your case, it was offer, positioning, and YouTube, and Instagram stories. And these four made you cash. And the first thing you did was like, okay, I'm going to hire this guy, so he's going to help me with scripting. This guy, so he's going to help me with DMs. This guy, so he's going to help me with the short form content. You now have a whole short form team that creates trial reels for you. And I think if people actually learned how to implement that, get money with these bridges, these lowest hanging fruit, and then put that into feeding the content, they'll grow so fucking quickly. And that's also why I think you're going to blow up so quickly, because sure, you could have kind of brute forced your way to 50 or 60K a month, but I'd rather have you scale to 20, put that money into then, how did you say? Tolu square yourself to 100.
Yeah. 10x to 10x, you know? 10x to 10x to 10x. It's just like keep growing like that instead of just doubling it. Because I don't have that. I don't have that bandwidth. I don't even think it would have been possible. I would have quit. I'm not working anymore, mate. I'm just going to live at home my whole life.
Fair enough, bro. Hey, I think that's it. We have 36 minutes.
Yeah, nice.
All right, appreciate you for your time. It was really long.
It was very good. Good call.
Appreciate you for your time. It was a great interview. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed this interview. If you want to see a full blueprint on how to scale to 100K a month and above, one of our clients, Oscar Patel, did exactly that within 3 months, and he did all of that spending $0 on ads. If that sounds of any interest, the full video is up here. Bye-bye.